All right, hello again, everybody. This is Mike Rixey. I am the lead options instructor for NetPicks. And in today's video, I want to take a closer look at a trade that we just closed out with our members today. It's a trade on Affirm. We did close it out for a nice quick profit. So I want to go through the chart pattern that drove the setup, why we took the trade the way that we did, and also why we managed it the way that we did here today. Before we get over to the charts, I do want to let you know that we are going to have a special event coming up starting this weekend into next week, where you're going to have a chance to see us walk through more trade examples, walk through how you can gain access to trades like this each and every week. So make sure you're coming back to the channel here. We'll have some more details for you over the next few days. If we take a look at SPY, I want to take a look at market big picture here as we go into the close today, because we are testing a very crucial support level. We are testing the 8-period exponential moving average on SPY. And if I take a look at my data box, I'll get you the exact value here. That level is at 585.75. We are incredibly overdone in the near term. The bulls have had an incredible stand over the past number of weeks. Going off of that April low, we have seen an impressive recovery, but we're overdone. We just needed a catalyst for equities to roll over. And that catalyst came earlier in the session when bonds, they've been screaming a warning signal for the last couple of weeks, but we saw treasury yields cross 5% today, and that's a clear headwind for equities. That was the catalyst that was needed to get some of these names rolling over to the downside. In the grand scheme of things, if we take a look here, yes, we're down big here today in many areas, but it's a drop in the bucket compared to the gains that we've seen over the past few weeks. If we break below this 8 EMA, at the close today, it opens up a further move to the downside down to the 200-period SMA. That's down just above 575. That'd be an area that we'd want to watch as a potential support level. I would expect the bulls to step in there if we get down to that level over the next few days. On the upside, we continue to track 600 on the upside, and then 613.23. That's the all-time high. Those would be areas to watch if we see the dip bought yet again over the next few days. We are heading into a long holiday weekend with markets closed on Monday. I would expect lighter volume as we go into the second part of the week. And historically, that has played into the hands of the bulls. And we'll see if that plays out or not here this week. I would expect if we're going to get any type of significant selling, I would expect it to come next week after we get past the holiday and you start to see some volume come back in. But in this market, anything is possible. Crazier things have happened, and it'll be a very interesting next couple of days, that's for sure. We have seen a pickup in volume, which is good to see. We're up upwards of 80 million shares today on SPY. Nice to see that volume picking up again. I would really love to see us stretch over the next few weeks where we settle into that 70 to 100 million share range on a daily basis. It would just help provide cleaner price action with more follow through versus just the choppy patterns that we've had quite a bit here over the past week and a half. The VIX trading back above 20. That's great to see for us. We ideally like to see the VIX between 18 and 23. Really encouraged by that here as well today. So if we do start to see volatility waking back up again, I'd love to see it. It does provide more opportunities like what I'm going to show you here on Affirm. I love the moves to the downside because they tend to be cleaner. They tend to happen quicker. And if we're going to buy an option like we did here on Affirm, ideally, I want that volatility to increase. It just throws gasoline on the fire. It just helps supercharge the returns in a short amount of time. So here on Affirm, this is a 130-minute chart. And notice I have my red dots. That is our trend trade. We had price action pushing to the upside. It got overbought. We started to see it roll over. Anytime that you see an extreme, in this case on the upside, you've got to look for those reversals where markets just run out of energy. You start to see price reverse, in this case back to the downside. And there's a couple things that jumped out at us here over the past few days. Going back into last week, notice how our pulse indicator down at the bottom flipped from above zero to below zero. That's telling me you're starting to see some energy release on the downside. We're starting to see price action pull back, which is what we are anticipating. And that was step number one for us getting a short setup. The next step in the sequence is I needed to see price close below our EMA up here, which it did. And that gave us a short setup. We had our entry dots. We had our targets down below. We had our stop up above. We came in, we bought the July 50 puts. We went out a little bit further in time. We don't typically go out that far with our options. I went with the longer dated options because I was concerned with the long holiday weekend. I was not anticipating an 800-point Dow move, almost a 100-point S&P move here today. I was expecting choppier conditions going into the end of the week. So I ended up going out a little bit further out in time that we normally do, just to try to give myself more time for this move to develop without that time decay becoming an issue, without us getting hit by that theta. So we came in, paid $407 for that contract, ended up closing it out here today for $5.90. It gave us a $183 profit, 45% return. Got out a little bit early here today. Typically, I'm going to give it more time to hit that second target. I wanted to take the quick profit because, again, a couple of reasons actually. Number one, we have had every dip bought up very quickly the last number of weeks. My concern is we come in tomorrow, the bulls step in, buy the dip, and we're right back to the upside. And then second, with that long holiday weekend upcoming, I just don't want to get caught with a market that just chops. And then all of a sudden that time decay eats into that profit. So we ended up taking the 45% return for us. Really nice trade. I mean, in and out in a couple of days. 2 to 20 days is very typical for us on these holding times. Definitely saw it here on Affirm. The nice part about this is everything's outlined for us. That roadmap is outlined for me. There's no guesswork involved. There's no spending hours on end drawing trend lines and looking at indicators and multiple time frames. The system's very clear cut. I have my exact entry. I have my target levels. I have my stop. I know how to manage the trade from start to finish. That's a huge advantage, especially in this market. I've had a lot of people ask, Mike, are you concerned with the potential for headlines? More trade headlines, Trump tweets. I'm not, because the roadmap that I'm following here on the chart is based solely off of technicals. My opinion is that all the news is going to be priced into price action on the chart immediately before I can ever interpret the news. So I'm able to focus on technicals, not focused on the headlines, and that just simplifies the whole process for me. Not to mention, it just shortens the amount of time that I need to look at the charts on a daily basis. Now, can you access these indicators? You can certainly do so. If you email us at info@netpicks.com, more than willing to get you more information on the indicators themselves. But you're also going to have the ability to track along with these trades. This is a trade that I sent out to our members here this week with the exact details. Here's the option that we're trading. Here's the price that we're looking to get in at. Here's our target level. Here's how we're going to manage the trade. And then I sent them another alert this morning, letting them know, hey, we're going to go ahead and close out of the position. Here's our target price. Here's what we're doing. That way, all of our members know where we stand from start to finish on every trade that we take. So we're definitely going to have some additional details on those alerts here over the next few days. So highly recommend coming back to the channel here over the next few days. Really excited for an upcoming event next week, and you really want to take advantage of that opportunity. So if you have any questions on the trade on Affirm or anything market wide, more than willing to help out. Feel free to leave a comment on the video, or you can email us info@netpicks.com. More than willing to help out there as well. So I'm going to wrap this video up here. I'll be back with you guys shortly with our next video.
Everything discussed here is our opinion, and it is not to be taken as investment advice because we are not your financial advisor, nor have we considered your personal situation as your fiduciary. This presentation is for your education and entertainment only. Please review NetPicks' full risk disclaimer and privacy policy.